Okay, Bridesmaids. Being that I am of the wrong gender that this movie was written towards, hearing people call it the female version of The Hangover, I had pretty high hopes. That and looking at the cast they had of women, you had people who were from The Office, Saturday Night Live, Reno 911. I mean, you had a pretty, and you think of Mad TV too, you had a pretty solid cast of female characters. And they kind of really don't focus on that many of them. Pretty much the main person you're going to follow around, her best friend is getting married. Okay. So some of the bizarre hilarity ensues with that, and it's I don't know, the moment where they're trying on like dresses, and they kind of get food poisoning, so they're kind of like throwing up, and one of them drops a deuce in the street. It is kind of funny because I have watched Say Yes to Dress with my wife a couple of times, and it does have a pretty decent feel to it like that. The scene where they're flying on the plane really didn't. It had some humor to it, and it added a nice subplot towards the end, but I just wasn't. It wasn't as humorous as I thought. Normally, these sorts of movies have pretty epic sort of flight sequences, and it was okay. The woman who won all of the awards, her name is totally escaped my mind. She is an absolute riot in this movie. Just period. They almost could have focused more on her character, and this movie probably would have been a lot funnier. They got some. You almost actually could remove the aspect of her of the wedding, and just focus on the woman who became the bridesmaid, the maid of honor. Because her life by itself is the majority of the movie. And her weird living with two British British brother and sister, who I don't know if they're mentally handicapped or something. There's a scene really early on where I'll just call her a mentally handicapped British woman, gets a tattoo of a Mexican drinking worm, and she calls it a Native American symbol. And as you listen back, you try to put some peas on that, thinking you put the bag of peas. No, she cuts the bag open and dumps it on her back. It's funny, but it's not like over the top funny. It's not like what like Zach Galifianakis would do in The Hangover funny. So it's a good comedy. If you go into it thinking it's going to be the female version of The Hangover, the first one, the good Hangover, you'll be kind of let down. Is it better than Hangover 2? Yes. A colonic is better than that. But, good comedy, solid time for me, an all-female cast. But people who say it is the female version of The Hangover, I guess maybe just never saw The Hangover.